Good evening from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Carvin, and this is Rant and Randy's Rant for January 11th, 2020. It's an anniversary for me as far as my younger sister in her 50s passed away 3 years ago today. That's about all I want to say about that. Um, what I would like to do, I see people out there. I'm testing out the mic. Looks like it's working pretty good tonight. Uh, Hello, Joe. I didn't get to finish your rant, but I've already shared it. I'll get back to it as soon as I get through here. And I want to tell you right off, I've got the Michael Moore interview from The Last Word last night that I will be attaching to this. And hello, Eric Rice. All right, welcome. Um, I didn't have a lot of time to put together. I was outside a few minutes ago to check. I think the snow has moved out of the area. Hello, Bernadette. I think the snow has moved out of the area. Uh, it hadn't made it the last time I looked at KTVO's live radar. I was trying to zoom out to where I could show Chicago also, but at that time, this was about an hour ago, the snow has not gotten to Chicago yet. This morning they were at 32 and we were at 20 degrees. It's probably cooled off quite a bit there. I don't know whether they're getting the freezing rain first, like we did last night. Let's get on with this. I've had it with this dictator, and I totally agree with you, Joe. We've already been overthrown. Now it's just a matter of we have to vote him out. And of course, anyone that knows me, I don't want it to come to having to defend our democracy by being armed, but if we have to, we have to. This man is not going to go willingly. We already know that. I was commenting somewhere earlier, if he's breathing, he's lying. And he is gone from 48 hours. It was one embassy. Now, in the latest one, it was 4 embassies. And imagine his people like Pompeo had to scramble around to cover his latest lies. There's also another meme or video that I have out there where Pence blew his cover. His whole story doesn't make sense. If they did this retaliation wise for one American, and that's what Pence was saying at a rally. So he blew his cover for his boss. Let me see what else I got. And this was interesting last night. It was on Rachel Maddow was talking about New York Times was pushing the Hillary story, backing the campaign in 2016. And now that she's been cleared of all those fake charges that she was accused of, they put that story on page 18. Small story that she's been cleared of all that. But see, they were pushing that story big time during the campaign. Come on, New York Times. That makes you look very bad back then. Michael Flynn will be sentenced on January 28th. So we will see how that goes because he fought what he admitted to. Damn. Uh, I almost lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think about two things at one time here. Uh, Now, suddenly, Donnie's back on the big I word, impeachment. See, that's what he did, distract people away. Now he's trying to get all the Republicans, and some of them he has paid for this upcoming trial to have their backing in it. Uh, let's not forget that. That has happened. Uh, I saw an ad, and I did put a meme out there about it. Uh, Call your senator and tell them to pass the House bills with the phone number I always give you, and I will. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to touch on this a minute. I think what I'm going to do is change my ending to, because I don't have to insist. People are going to do it. The most important thing is the word persist, as persistence will pay off, just like it could be changed to pressure. Public pressure makes a big difference. It has in the past and it can now. I still go with what Ron Easton was saying. We need to have 1 million people in the streets around the White House and tell them we want this man out. We've had enough. Enough is enough. And I thought I would touch on the 2020 race. Mike Bloomberg said if he's not the nominee, he will leave what money he would have spent in the race. So he will back whoever the nominee is if he's not the nominee. Now, Tom Steyer said about the same thing, but not as much as far as he's, it's all in the way you interpret things. I think maybe they interpreted him a little short. He's always back, going back a couple of years now with his impeach now. He's always back. He was a big part of the 2018. So I can't see him, if he's not the nominee, pulling his money out. But that's tremendous money that would be in the 2020 nominees campaign for advertising and getting people out, getting people on the street to register people and everything else. This could be very good if both of them will do that, because I doubt either one of them are going to be the nominee. I'm kind of a little more partial to Tom Steyer because of all the good work he has done for over a decade. And let's look at what the meaning of the word imminent means. At any moment. Pompeo, Donnie. It doesn't mean what has been said. Yet on Fox, Pompeo said, we didn't know when, but it was going to happen. That is not the meaning of imminent. And let's keep in mind, like I've already spoken about this several times, it started out with one attack on one U.S. embassy in Baghdad. Over 48 hours, it became on Fox News. It was 4 embassies that Trump said that's what it was about. He was going to attack 4 different, and they have never said anything. They made a second strike in Yemen that same night, and they missed their target, so they don't say anything about it. And Joe Sherwood, you are right. As far as this man cannot be trusted. He never tells the truth. All he does is throw red meat to his base by coming up with all these lies. I also found out, as far as wall goes, the 93 miles that is down there on the border now, that's replacement wall. And they're claiming more like 500 new miles of wall. Nope, hadn't happened. Ain't going to. That's just Trump lies. Shit. Give it a John Rivido slap in the face. Let's see what else. Oh, and the sad thing is, Bernadette, a federal court and one of his appointed judges has now decided he can steal $3.6 billion from the U.S. military and their families to build his damn wall. Shit. I am so fucking tired of this bullshit. There are some positives in the news, but I agree with Joe on this too. Putin owns Trump. That's the reason the Navy incident the other day. Is this a signal to him? Don't forget, we own you and your country. On a positive side, if this is a positive, but I think we're shaking loose a lot of senators and House of Representative Republicans. Susan Collins is working with a fairly small group of Republican senators toward the goal of ensuring witnesses can be called in the chamber's impeachment trial. And this is totally opposite what Mitch is saying right now. The pressure is on that man. Nancy knows how to play him, and she played him just right. Mitch McConnell on Larry King talked a lot different during the Clinton impeachment. He was saying that you have to have witness. That's very true. You cannot have a trial of any kind in this country, including the Senate trial, without witnesses. McConnell's just blowing his big farts out, claiming that they'll take care of it. No, you can't take care of it. And as more days pass, there's more pressure put on him that there will be witnesses in this trial. And now, not a lot, but there are going to be enough that decide on the Republican side that they have to have witnesses. And if they do, then we need John Bolton to be that witness. And you notice how yesterday Trump was switching his thing. Oh, he has nothing against him being a witness, but they have to look into it because of executive privilege of all things. He doesn't work for you anymore, Donnie. He does not have to obey that. And as we've seen, not all will obey your orders. Just like I don't think the military would obey an illegal order from Donnie or Pompeo or any of that smelly damn bunch in the White House. They don't have to. They don't have to commit unlawful acts just because the commander in chief is an idiot of the regime. Let's talk a little about Pelosi is playing this right. I already said that. 4 Republicans are thinking about their oath. Exactly. They have not taken the oath for the Senate trial. When they do, they have to be impartial to take that oath, or they're lying in front of the American people when they take the oath. The Ukrainian flight, President Rouhani admits that it was accidentally shot down. Keep in mind, this wouldn't have happened if Donnie hadn't poked the hornet's nest in the first place. He always creates the problem and comes to the rescue. And how many times will the regime be believed by his own base? Of course, at his rallies, he can lie all he wants to. I've seen examples that I put up there on my Twitter page. These Southern girls singing, they want war with Iran. They'll go anywhere for Donnie. And as I've said before, and everybody else says, Soleimani was a bad guy. He has planned many attacks over many years. This was not given, even that information was not given to Congress in the briefing. Again and again, they come out and change their story because they have to catch up with, oops, Donnie said now it's 4 different U.S. embassies. Got to change the story and the narrative. And let's see. Oh, I wanted to mention the guest host, the last word last night was Ali Velshi. He is a Kenyan-born Muslim. And he told Michael Moore that he knew a Kenyan-born Muslim. And then right after that, Michael Moore said, oh, that's right, you. Not Obama, but you. And Ali Velshi very much loves this country. He was not born here. He was born in Kenya. And he came here with his family and grew up here. How long before this dictator decides to take people like that and send them to Kenya? Or jail them for any of their beliefs? He's expanded this shit show so much. Now there's more and more others. You can't trust people in your own country. They were born here, DACA. They were brought here as children. A lot of them, some of them don't know how to speak fluent Spanish, but that's all right. Just send them down to a country. How many times has that happened already and they end up dead? All this blood is on Donnie's hands. He has done this, and he should be made to pay for it. The Ukrainian flight would have never been down if he hadn't poked the hornet's nest for his impeachment trial. That's why he did it. Look over here. We're having a war with Iran. And it's over 300 and something days now. And the press secretary, Stephanie Grisham, has not had the first press conference. Is this like a free country? I want to ask my Republican friends, people I went to high school, is this like a free country when you don't even have press conferences anymore because Donnie can't trust anybody to lie for him like he used to? And then some sad news. And keep in mind, this man down in the Prime Minister of Australia is more or less another Donnie, doesn't believe in climate change. And there were protests at the same time. Those wildfires are going on, which has taken 25 lives and 1 billion animals, and 30% of koalas have been burned. Habitat has been destroyed. A good example of climate change is what's going on now. I'm hearing from my friends from over in the Northeast. They're having temperatures like in New York City in the 60s today, all the way down the coast. And I think I saw somebody, Pennsylvania, the temperature was 70 something degrees, 72 degrees. This is climate change. This is what we have got to get a handle on. Puerto Rico, another quake. And regardless of what Trump supporters will tell you, there has been a difference in how much pollution we are letting into the air. Coal is the dirtiest thing you can burn, and that's part of what Australia exports out. What they don't use, they export out. Dirtiest fuel on the face of the earth. Oh, didn't have a whole lot to get to. That's because of this idiot. On the weekend, it cycles down. I get a little tired sometimes talking about we are, not that far out from the Iowa caucuses. Okay, people. But right now, I don't really care to hear anything about polls or where they think everybody is. Let's see the caucuses and some of the primaries go on, and we'll see some numbers on this. This is what they always do on mainstream media, is they try to set the narrative by all these poll numbers, and look how wrong it was last time in 2016. I know nobody could have foreseen that we would have a dictator in there now that was installed by Russia, but it was well thought out by the Russians, who I have said in the past held 2 rallies in this country during the campaign for Trump and against Hillary. Everything they could do against Hillary, the Russians were paying for it. Oh, so I will let you go a little short. I don't take a day off, but I'm kind of glad it's Saturday to at least, unless there is a big snowstorm tomorrow with a 20% chance. Uh, you know me, I'm going to be out there posting what videos I can find. And with your support, you all support me. And it's just not with your money. It's also everybody that's out here right now. Practically every one of you send me information that I can use either in a rant or I post it. I either post to Twitter page. It's got a lot out there that people need to look at. And that's I'm available on Twitter on Randy Curvin on my Twitter page. I in fact, put this is out there where people out there can watch it from there. Like that, I got 5 likes. I will tell you an update on the YouTube show. 115 members now and growing. It took a few days this last week, but we're getting the numbers in. It's getting up there. And thank you, Joe. And thank you, Dave. I try my best Some days, I'm like everybody else. I don't really feel like doing anything. But then again, I've had such support from the Blue Dot family, and that's what we're about. If you're not a member and you see this, go over and join JBS, the Blue Dot family, become a part of what we're doing. We're standing up against a dictator. We have already been overthrown. It's our job to get that man out. And like I was saying, if you want to send telegrams, do it. Let them know we're not putting up with this. Tell them, just like in the post that I had out there, keep calling them. And this is the phone number they gave us to call and tell them to pass the bills from the House. They want to go on with regular business? Fine, Moscow Mitch. Then take the damn bills up and pass them. We don't give a damn whether Donnie likes them or not. Uh, at least they will reach his desk and he can make a further asshole out of himself by vetoing them. That will be public knowledge. Well, it would be in any other administration. We'd probably hear about it from Russia. Come on. Republicans, GOP, all of you, you want somebody that is kissing Putin butt and giving him everything he wants. And then when he's not quite satisfied with you, he reminds you by almost hitting one of our ships. I can't believe you think he's the good guy in the first place. Well, enough about my Republican friends. I hope you wake up. I really do. Is this going to be worth having a civil war in this country? I think not. I think in the long run, you're going to find out, oh, we didn't realize he was that bad. Then it's going to be too late because we will take this country back one way or the other. I hope it's peaceful. That's what I'm all about. I dream of a day that we can have peace in this country and in the world for once. Wouldn't that be great? All right. There I am, Randall Carbon, P.O. Box 336, Kirksville, Missouri, 63501. I would appreciate, and it's not a requirement, I am a Blue Dot. It is not a requirement that you support me in any way. I'd like to get your letters and your cards, but there is no requirement that you help me out, but it does keep things going here. And I'm getting equipment like this, and I got that table back there where I can set up in a different place. I'm thinking in front of my TV, particularly when I want to present some music. I'll be able to do that in the living room. And you can like and share and subscribe down at the bottom. And I mean it, people. Let's share this shit. Get it out there. We are the guardians of liberty. And like each one of us with a voice, like Joe Sherwood, we're going to be here. We're going to be here through it all. And we have got to take that man out. Let's do it by election. Let's do it by election. Then our own army can take him out of the White House when he doesn't want to go. Because like I said before, there are a great many veterans and there are a great many of our soldiers are not going to let him stay if the order comes, you have to take him out. They're going to have to take him out of the White House. Quite frankly, I don't care if it's on a gurney or a straight jacket or in handcuffs. Doesn't matter to me. All right, I'll let you go. Uh, like I said, like and share. I can be found on Twitter. I'm on Liker, and I'm on MeWe. And I'll be on any other media that I can find to get this word out. I thank you all for coming. I love this Blue Dot family. I love my country, and I want it back. And that's what Blue Dot family's about. Have a good evening, and I will see you on Monday unless we get covered up in snow here. And I'll do my weather report, my hippy dippy weather report like I did today. And I thank all of you for watching that. I got a great response today. And this is the kind of weather that I mostly do it is the winter time. Uh, this for Missouri is about a week early uh, to have. We didn't get a lot. I don't think we've got more 2 or 3 inches. The rain and the freezing rain here was worse. And like I said, that's climate change. So I'll see you soon. Have a good Saturday night, and I will see you on Facebook on Monday. Bye bye now. Share this shit. We need it out there. Bye bye.